Welcome back to the Tracy Take. Today, Ryan and I are having part two of this little mini series that we like to call NFL Wildcard Weekend 2022 Spectacular Extravaganza Machine. Write in the comments on what you think of the name. I'm sure that there will be plenty of funny ones on how stupid that is. But before we get into previewing the game, Ryan and I, we have a goal of getting to 400 subscribers by Super Bowl weekend. If you have not already, any help would be much greatly appreciated. And so with that being said, if you have not already, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video with your Patriots and Bills friends and fans. And Ryan, let's get into it. Saturday night football is going to be against the New England Patriots versus the you hate the Buffalo Bills. I don't know if you hate them. I think that's a strong word. I think you hate them by association. Just the fact that they're in your division and they're really good. But they're playing them again for a third time in this season. Been some great games. The first one is going to be probably one of the more memorable games and will be watched on YouTube highlights forever just because of how crazy the weather was. And then the second game was a hard-fought game, but the Bills, they kind of seemed to come alive, turn things around, and unfortunately started a little downward trend that you've been noticing with the Patriots over these past couple of weeks leading into the postseason. What has you concerned with your New England Patriots going into this wild card weekend?
Well, what has me concerned is a lot of things, but frankly, ever since the bye week, New England has.
Just talking about football. Just concerns about football. Not any outside, not any other outside life stuff.
Yeah, I was going to talk about football. So what has me concerned is ever since the bye week, New England came out really flat against Indianapolis and Buffalo. They showed up to play against the Jaguars, but it's the Jaguars. You beat them 50-10. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to write home about. And then you come out and then you stink it up in the first two quarters against Miami, and all of a sudden you're down 20-7 or something, and you have to turn it up. And I just New England's energy just does not seem like they want to be on the field. They just look scattered. They look tired. They look beat up. And I think you can really see that in the run defense over the last 4 weeks. New England, I think, has given up an average of like 160 something yards a game on the ground. Jonathan Taylor went for 170. I know the Bills went for almost 200 with Josh Allen in I think what was that, week 16. And then Miami just had Tua and Duke Johnson, like a guy who was who was signed mid-season off the streets. Just went for 150 plus together. So like this run defense does not look good for New England. This defense in general just does not. And then Mac Jones, everybody was talking about how Mac Jones was the second coming. Over the last 4-5 games, over the last 4 games, he's thrown 5 interceptions to only 6 touchdowns, and 3 of those touchdowns came against Jacksonville. So New England has been rendered slightly inept on both sides of the football, and I just think Buffalo is in a prime position to take advantage of it once again. I don't really see New England fixing a lot of the small things that they usually do throughout the season. They're still making stupid mistakes that they were at the beginning of the year. They still just have some blown coverages. Offensively, still miss blocks. They don't have the talent or just the skills to make up for a lot of the things that they're doing to themselves, and they're just beating themselves. So that for me, I think is the key for New England. Is if they want to win this game, they have to show up. They have to play with energy. They have to not beat themselves, not make stupid penalties, not get behind the sticks, and establish the run game. That was what they did the first time against Buffalo, and it worked really well. It kind of put Buffalo in a stifled position where they had to pack 8 guys in the box. Now, again, the weather, actually, well, they put pretty much 11 guys in the box because the weather was not permitting passing. And then on Buffalo's side of the ball, getting Josh Allen out in space. New England's linebackers are old and slow. Their secondary, they're probably going to play cover 0 against this. Maybe they'll play single high safety and do that. But they're probably gonna put a lot of guys in the box and try to put pressure on Josh Allen so they can get him out in space and really put this secondary in a pinch. I think Josh Allen will at the very least be able to outrun our linebackers for at a gain of yards. Can't go broke taking a
Yeah.
profit. And I think Buffalo's second key to the game is on the defensive side of the ball. Get after Mac Jones, especially early, because that's what Indianapolis did. That's what they did in Week 16, and that's what Miami did. Was they got Mac Jones fooled early. They put the Patriots behind in a position where they have to throw it, and I mean they exposed Mac Jones for being the rookie that he is. So it's I mean I, Buffalo's key to victory are a lot easier than New England's because New England has
Mhm.
built a habit out of making stupid mistakes, not taking advantage of turnover opportunities, and yeah. So I think it'll be a good game, but I just don't see New England pulling it out. I think they're going to make too many mistakes.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I agree that the Patriots need to start off hot because if there's a team I think that we could compare them to, it would probably be a little bit more balanced Cleveland Browns, where the Patriots, when they're ahead, they're able to run the ball. They are sixth in the league in rushing, averaging 130 yards per game, and they are ninth passing the. Oh, sorry, eighth in rushing. With 126.5, still good. And then they're a little bit above average of passing yards per game. Some of that is because of the little bit of the recent struggles with Mac Jones. But when they're able to get ahead and they're able to uh, manage the playbook through the running first, and that's going to open up play action, open up the passing game. But
Yeah,
they don't have the. I think they have a lot of good weapons that they can build around, and then once they get an elite receiver, but none of their receivers uh, are like lethal and scary. But then when you look at the other
yeah,
side, you look at Stephon Diggs. Like Stephon Diggs is in that class of receivers where you have to watch him at all times, and or he could easily break out for 150 yards in a game and just absolutely burn you multiple times. So
yeah,
I agree with you. I think Buffalo, I think are just matched up well against this New England team that has a weaker secondary and with how explosive their passing game is. Not only just how explosive the passing game is with slower linebackers, that, as you've mentioned. If Josh Allen, if I need to double check, but if he's not 1,000 yard rusher this year, he is extremely
I
close
th-
to being
I
one.
think he got
Uh,
just over 800.
just over 800. I mean, so that's pretty
Yeah,
solid. Like, I mean, I think he is the leading rusher, if not very close with Devin Singletary. I mean, they're six. They average six in rushing yards per game with just shy of 130. And a lot of that is due to Josh Allen's contributions of scrambling on design pass plays. So it's going to be tough for the Patriots, especially with how they've been playing lately. They were just so hot in that middle portion of the season, but a lot of these AFC teams actually you make an argument all seven of the teams that made the AFC had a portion in the season where they looked unbeatable and they looked like they could be Super Bowl
yeah,
champs. But it's going to come down to who's going to be more consistent, who's going to be more protective of the ball. And as you said, the Patriots they just haven't been doing that as much lately. While the Bills they might not be winning pretty, but hey, they're still winning. They're taking care of the ball. They're doing the little
yeah.
things, and this defense is top notch as well. So
Mhm.
I think the Bills are playing the Patriots at the right time.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think the Bills have the key advantage of having the best player on the field, and that's Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen
Mm-hmm.
completely took over the week 16. I think it was week 16. The week 16 matchup against New England. New England had him dead to rights a couple times on their final drive to get the ball back down 5 points. And Josh Allen just made a couple
Yeah.
guys miss, or he just did a little shovel pass to Dawson Knox for 8 yards on like 3rd and 7. And I mean, it was just death by 1,000 cuts. And this is one of the things that I really want to see out of New England is they did this against Miami too, and it really makes me mad. But they come out in this stupid like prevent defense. It'll be like 3rd and 2, and the DBs are 7-8 yards off the guy. So then Miami, all they do is
Mm-hmm.
just run Jalen Waddle on a little sweep, hit it to him, and he gets 6 yards. Like New England needs to come out with energy. They need to come out and hit somebody in the mouth and not be playing on their back foot the whole game. Because if
Yeah.
you let Josh Allen and the Bills come out and attack you, that's exactly what they want to do. They want to come out, they want to throw it, they want to push the pace. right? Like
Yeah.
the rope-a-dope only works against power teams. I think you just let them kind of run themselves out, and then eventually like they'll get tired, right? You can't do that
Hmm.
against like a really fast, like agile team. Like they'll just cut you all day, right?
Hmm.
So like I don't know. I want to see coaching improvements from New England. I think coaching, like I'm, you can curse me for criticizing Bill Belichick, but coaching this year, while I think they've done a good job with the team, actual game plans and adjustments in game have been very poor. I think that
Well,
they
go ahead, finish your thought. Sorry.
I just think that they have somewhat refused to adapt to certain situations, like against the Colts, for example. Uh, the Colts really weren't doing anything on offense that really wowed you. However, the Patriots
Hmm.
weren't getting aggressive. They weren't blitzing Carson Wentz. They weren't coming after him to try and make him make mistakes. So
Yeah.
I think that like that is the game plan. Like put them on the back foot, make them have to throw it. But instead, they came out. They let Jonathan Taylor run for 4 yards, run for 6 yards, run for 5 yards, and then he just accumulated 178 yards over uh like 28 carries. I know he had a long like 50 yarder at the end there, but they got on their back foot and then they couldn't stop it. And I think Buffalo is that's exactly how they want to play. Like they want to come
Hmm.
out and they want to get ahead early and play with a lead and make you have to throw.
Yeah.
So that's Buffalo's run defense is not very good. I know numbers wise they're pretty good, and all the Buffalo fans can comment down below that they're sixth rushing defense or whatever. Like I get it, but the fact is, when New England was able to win the game, they ran the football 40 plus times, and they got ahead, and they literally ran away with it. Like
Hmm.
so, I, it's just frustrating to watch basic coaching decisions be missed when for the last 20 plus years that hasn't happened.
Yeah. Well, he took a year off, so I mean, he might be a little rusty this year to like just to get his
Yeah,
swing and things.
he is getting
So
old. Maybe there's some things going on. I don't know.
yeah. Oh yeah. Let's start that rumor train. That'd be great for the
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
But I mean, I don't think I could have said it any better myself. I agree that I don't think the Patriots. I think the Patriots have more of a shot than I think you're giving them credit for. I do think
No,
that the
they
Bills
do.
are. I do think the Bills are going to win this game. I think it's going to be similar to what we saw more in Foxborough. I think it's going to be a. I'm going to go with the 28-21 victory. I think that the Bills offense, while although they can be one dimensional at times, can be is just going to be more explosive. I think. I
Yeah,
think more things need to go right for the Patriots, and they need to get an early lead for that to happen. And there's no guarantee that Bills offense has been clicking pretty well as of late.
yeah. No, I definitely don't think the Bills are what they were last year. I think they may have regressed a little bit. The Bills
Hmm.
team last year would be the number one seed in the AFC. I think they were much more balanced,
Oh yeah, with the
and a
schedule
much
they
better
had.
team last
Oh yeah,
season. Yeah,
yeah.
and but I still think the Bills are one of the best teams in the AFC. Um, I think the Bills are going to win. I'm going to say 31-28. I think Patriots are going to make it look closer than it really is. But unless the Patriots can fix the penalties, fix the turnovers, fix the run defense, all in a matter of a week when they haven't been able to do it over 18, I just
Hmm.
think that that's a tall task. So
That's a lot to fix, I will say, in six
yeah,
days.
and yeah,
That's a lot.
so but other than that, I think it'll be a good game. I know I'm a little negative on the Patriots, but I think that's just because of what I've been used to for the last 20 years.
Your entire
So,
life.
yeah, pretty much. But again, I think this is farther ahead than what Patriots fans thought we would be at this point. So, I mean, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But honestly, we can sit here and talk about it all day, but the only thing left to do is to watch them play on Saturday and really get something going. So we'll just have
Yeah,
to wait and
that's
see.
fair.
I don't have too much else to add. So I think that's going to wrap it up here for this episode of the Tracy Take. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Tyler and I are trying to hit 400 subscribers by Super Bowl weekend. So if you could help us achieve that goal, we would very much appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.